What's up, YouTube? See, I have a few things, I like to get right into it. But yes, of course, I have the gang stalking thing. I'm still like coming up with shit, that it's just coming to me all of a sudden. But a couple of things that I've been thought about, but it's like some way, shape, form, or fashion, it's being confirmed inside of my mind. So I'm gonna start with this. When I say my family is mostly my gang stalkers, I'm not saying all, but a lot of them are. So I'm gonna get right into it, so I don't waste you guys' time. But so I have a cousin that before I knew what gang stalking was and the tactics and all of that. Okay, so a few years ago, like he was the one that I used to run to when all of this shit was happening, and I didn't know what was going on. So he was the one I was running to like all the time, calling up like, "Hey, cuz, I don't know what's going on. This is happening. It's some weird things. What's happening? Whatever, right?" So the funny thing is, he used to tell me things like, "Well, what they're trying to do is break you," and those are his words. Like, they're trying to break you, and I was like, "Okay." I took that. I ran with it, and he used to tell me things like, "Oh, you can tell the truth of anything like that, but no one's gonna say anything." You know. Well, he said they're not gonna say anything. Okay, so I was like, okay. Long story short, like, now that I know what gang stalking is and their tactics, or most of their tactics, or some of them, whatever, however you want to put it, it's like everything that he was telling me as my cousin is the same thing as gang stalking. But I didn't know exactly what the fuck it was, so I didn't really catch on to that. He was just telling me like they are trying to break you down. They are not going to listen to you. They are not going to believe you. Even if you tell the truth, they are not going to listen. But now that I know what gang stalking is, and I see all the targets on here, and I know we all get targeted differently, because I'm gonna keep saying that because I know it. Um, Helps me realize. I know you guys know where I'm going with this. Like, nigga, you been a gang stalker the whole time, because you just described to me all over the course of the years. This nigga described to me exactly what the fuck a gang stalker is and their tactics. But me, I had no idea about gang stalking. I know, yes, I was being stalked in some type of way. But as far as like the tactics and everything he was saying, it's true to be a gang stalker. So there you have it. My family. Not all of my gang stalkers are family, but for the most part, that was kind of like weird, because I came up with that a few days ago, and I was like, you know what? Because I read every day, and I try to learn something new every day, and I'm like, you know what? My cousin like described to me the same thing. I don't have to repeat myself, but that's weird to me. So just be aware. To some of you like targets out there who says like, "Oh, it's not my family," you better think again. Not like discrediting anyone, because I believe every targeting is different, and most of you guys, like, your family is not targeting you, but this is the same person who knows like what's on my Facebook. I mean, he used to throw like little hints like that, so I'm like, I don't really fuck with my family when it comes to Facebook because of the targeting shit. Like my mom telling me exactly what I've had with my Facebook posts, and she's not even on Facebook. But she's like, "Why do you put things on Facebook?" And I'm like, how do you know? Because you're not even on Facebook. You know, like you got one of those moms who's not like, you know, they're not really that social media type, you know. So that's why I was like shocked as to like, how do you know? I actually asked her like, how do you know? She gave me one name, but that name was like way off the grid, and I was like, who? You know. So then again, I know gang stalkers, they lie, and just be careful around the people who's close to you and listen to them. I know one thing. If I would have known what gang stalking was and all those things that my cousin was telling me, I would have been able to like label him as a gang stalker because I didn't know exactly what it was. He was getting away with that. And I swear to you, everything he was describing to me was everything I'm learning now. I'm like, it's kind of like one of those things like, oh, you motherfucker. Oh, you mother, you know, like one of those, excuse my language, but I really don't give a fuck. But just saying. So just imagine that. You just like, you looking back on your life and you realize when you learn what something is, you realize it's the ones that was closest to you who was doing it. And I imagine they don't call it gang stalking because if I get in contact with my cousin, I'll be like, hey, so you a gang stalker? You know, the first words out of his mouth would be, oh, I'm not a gang stalker. I'm not in the gang. That would be his words. I'm not in the gang. Like, I'm not saying you in the gang. I'm saying you're a stalker. If you look up the word gang, you know what gang means. And I'm not here to do definitions because I'm pretty sure everyone who's listening to me know the definitions. But gang stalkers always try to get out of it. Oh, I'm not in the gang. Like, yeah, whatever. You know what the hell I mean. You know. But that was just a little short video too, you know, because I'm just sharing my life as a target in that way. And I'm just saying like to break someone when he said that, and all you targets be aware because I'm pretty sure you know already. That's what they're trying to do. Break your morale, break your spirit, try to get you, you know, to settle down. It's like, and do things their way. But the more I learn about it, the more I learn the people who was in my life was way involved in gang stalking. And I had no idea because I wasn't paying attention like that. It's like I just noticed a couple things and that's it. But I gotta go YouTube, make another video later. Thanks.